The whisper on the mountain, Elijah at Horeb. The fire on the mountain. Elijah had just experienced the most incredible moment of his life. On Mount Carmel, he had stood alone against 450 prophets of Baal. With boldness and fire from heaven, Elijah had proved to all Israel that the Lord was the one true God. The people had shouted, "The Lord, He is God." Rain had finally fallen after years of drought. Victory, power, glory. But the celebration didn't last. When Queen Jezebel, the cruel and wicked wife of King Ahab, heard what had happened, her rage boiled. She sent a message to Elijah. "By this time tomorrow, you'll be dead." The prophet runs. Elijah, mighty prophet, brave warrior of God, was suddenly terrified. He ran. He ran far into the wilderness, away from cities, from people, from danger. But also, away from his calling, he dropped to the ground under a scraggly broom tree, exhausted and broken. "I've had enough, Lord," he whispered. "Take my life. I'm no better than those who came before me." Then he fell asleep, bred in the wilderness. But God did not scold Elijah. He didn't thunder or roar. Instead, he sent an angel. The angel touched Elijah and said, "Get up and eat." There beside him was a cake of fresh bread, warm from the stones, and a jar of water. Elijah ate, then fell back asleep. The angel came again. "Get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you." Elijah ate again, and with that food, he had strength for 40 days and 40 nights. He walked alone through the wilderness, toward a sacred place. Mount Horeb, also called Mount Sinai, the mountain of God, alone in the cave. At Horeb, Elijah found a cave in the cliffs and stayed the night. There God spoke. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah poured out his heart. "I've served you, Lord, with all my strength, but the people have rejected you. They've torn down your altars and killed your prophets. I'm the only one left, and now they want to kill me too." He was full of fear, loneliness, and frustration. God answered gently, "Go out and stand on the mountain in my presence." Elijah obeyed. And then came a moment unlike any other. The great and the gentle. As Elijah stood at the entrance of the cave, the mountain trembled. First came a mighty wind, a storm so powerful that rocks split and tumbled down the cliffs. But God was not in the wind. Then came a violent earthquake. The ground cracked and the cave shook beneath Elijah's feet. But God was not in the earthquake. Then came a fire, a roaring blaze that lit up the mountainside. But God was not in the fire. Then a whisper, a still, small voice. So gentle it could barely be heard. Elijah stepped forward, pulling his cloak over his face. He knew. God was in the whisper. A new mission. From within that gentle voice, God spoke again. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah gave the same answer. "I've tried. I've fought. But I'm alone, and now they seek my life." But this time, God answered with hope. "You are not alone. I have 7,000 people in Israel who have not bowed to Baal." Then God gave Elijah a mission. "Go back, anoint kings, appoint a new prophet to walk beside you. His name is Elisha." God was saying, "You're not finished. I still have plans for you, and I will never leave you." A whisper that changed everything. Elijah had been expecting God in fire, thunder, storm, and strength. But God came in a whisper. In the quiet, in the stillness, in the most personal way. Elijah had felt forgotten, but God remembered. Elijah had felt alone, but God had thousands. Elijah had felt finished, but God was just beginning a new chapter. With renewed courage, Elijah stepped out of the cave. He walked back down the mountain, not as a man running away, but as a man on a mission. The mountain and the mission. Elijah's story reminds us of something powerful. Sometimes we expect God to speak in loud, dramatic ways, but often He comes in the quiet. Even when we feel tired, afraid, or alone, God sees us. He feeds us, strengthens us, and gently calls us forward. Just like Elijah, we all face moments of doubt, but in the silence, if we listen closely, we may hear the whisper of a God who still speaks, who still loves, and who still calls us by name